video, I'm going to run, this is part 2 of a 2-part series where I'm going to run down a bunch of new knitting products. There's been kind of this explosion of new stuff and people have been asking me about it. I put out a video last week of like larger new knitting products, and this is smaller new knitting products. If you want to see last week's video, just go ahead and click the I in the upper right hand corner, and that link will be there throughout this video. You can click at any point. So I have a bunch of little things to show you, and I will provide links as well as I can to where to find these products. But if you're a local yarn shop or you have a favorite local yarn shop that sells these, go ahead and put a link in the comments. I'll approve the comments so YouTube doesn't spit it out as spam, and we can support our local yarn shops that way. But let's go ahead and take a look at these up close little things. This first thing I have to show you is a counter ring, and we might need to zoom in on it. I'm not sure how well it can be seen. This is from a website called Crit Success, and they are a high-end gaming website. So this counter ring is designed for people who are gaming, but it's also pretty great for knitters. And the color that I've chosen is maybe not the easiest to see on camera. I actually can't see the numbers very well without my glasses on. I can't see anything without my glasses on. That's not a good example, but this ring does come in higher contrast colors between the metal color and the numbers. And what it is, you've got this little highlighted area on the ring, and that's actually the number that you're reading. And to change the number, you push in and twist, and the next number clicks into place. And I got this big enough to where on my thumb, while I'm knitting along, I can just glance down and see what number I'm on. Pretty handy, I like it, and it is secure enough that you can put this ring in your bag and it's not going to register any numbers while it's in your knitting bag, because it does take a little bit of effort from you to get the number to change. I love jewelry that is also a functioning knitting thing. This ring, I'll give you more information in the video description field on this ring because I can't remember the name, but this is a needle gauge and also a ring. And I was ready to show you a bracelet that's also stitch markers, but it didn't arrive in the mail in time, but I'll give you a link. It's made by Feral Strumpet, and she does beautiful handmade stuff. Anyway, I'll give you a link to it. Just check it out. It didn't make it in time for this video shoot. The next thing I have to show you is this funny little needle gauge that has so much going on that I'm kind of excited about. This is by Knitter's Pride, and it's a needle gauge that has like these U shapes instead of just holes. And I kind of like the way you just pop your needle in like this to test the size instead of poking it through. I don't know, it's just something different. And it has this cutting edge right here. It's safe. It's not going to cut anything while it's in your knitting bag, but you can do some quick snips of your yarn, a yarn cutter there. And the other exciting thing about it is that this is a 4-inch cutout. So to check your gauge after you've knit a 4-inch swatch, you just set this over it and check to make sure your gauge is on. And that said, I have another one that is this one, and this one's made by an independent artist on Etsy called Katrinkles, and these are wood gauge rulers that measure out the whole 4-inch swatch. And I've really enjoyed using this. And you can see in my gauge here, my stitch gauge is perfect, and my row gauge is a little off, but probably not enough to matter. Anyway, by Katrinkles. And another measuring tool, I became aware of these sock rulers recently. This is from sockruler.com. And when you're knitting, especially toe-up socks, and the pattern tells you exactly where to stop knitting to start knitting the heel, you can set it down on your ruler to measure, and maybe you're not sure how accurate you're being. With this, if you pop it into the toe of the sock, it is really easy to get an accurate measurement. And you can see here that I am at 7 inches, and to knit my size, I have another 1.5 inches to go. The marketing materials for the sock ruler say that you can also just pop it into your cuff down socks to see how much cuff you've knit, or if you're ready to start knitting the heel or something. I think these are best used on toe-up socks. Very handy to see exactly how much you've knit before you need to switch over to knit the heel. Anyway, that's from sockknitter.com. And I think I have just one more. I'm so bummed I didn't have the stitch marker bracelet to show you yet. I'll post some pictures on Instagram. These are Knitter's Pride wool needles, and they're really different, kind of exciting. They come in 3 sizes, and unlike regular needles that are impossible to thread, I'm not sure how to show these. It has like a fishing line loop on the end that anyone, even me with my glasses off, I can thread this. Now, they're nice needles. They work really well for weaving in ends. The one thing you have to remember, though, is to hang on to the yarn as you're working it, because if you just pull the needle, there isn't enough of a grip on the yarn with this fishing line loop that your yarn will just fall out. So just be sure to pay attention to that. Otherwise, they're kind of a dream for people who have a tough time threading needles. And again, these are from Knitter's Pride. What a rundown, 2 weeks of all these brand new knitting products. Again, if you are a local yarn shop and you're selling these, feel free to plug your store in the comments below. We should all be supporting our local yarn shops as much as we can. And information about the everything, I'll give you as much information as I can for where I found them and how much they cost and whatever, in the video description field below, or you can click over to my website by clicking the I in the upper right-hand corner. Anyway, I have exhausted all of the new knitting products I have for right now for this video of spring of 2018. And if you have ideas for more things you want me to give a try, go ahead and leave me a comment or send me an email. And we can always do more of these videos in the future because, gosh, I like buying knitting stuff. It's not a problem for me. Anyway, I hope that helps. Good luck.